So this is going to be a video about communication, and basically all of these videos that I'm making here. So if you've just stumbling on this one, I'm making a video series for my future self and for my offspring and for anybody else that just wants to utilize it as my thoughts on a perfect life. So a perfect life is your ability to find a vision and then put goals in order to get that vision done. And sometimes whenever other people whenever they don't know what your true intentions are, they may try to do something else, or they may try to interpret what your intentions are, and they may want to do something that's completely against what you want. So I have found in my life that communicating is the most difficult thing to do. And that's because you only have so much time to communicate. Because if you don't have the right face on, if you don't have the right tone, if you don't say things the way that you think that they're going to understand it, then you're not fully going to be able to get them to cooperate and do what you want them to do. And a lot of life comes down to manipulation, whether you're being manipulated or whether you're able to manipulate other people to do what you want them to. And the problem becomes whether or not you're doing something that's good or bad. And in life, you want to constantly do things that are good so that magically life will reward you with a happy life. And being able to communicate that you have those intentions, meaning that everything in life you're trying to do is for the good of everyone. And by good of everyone, it means that everybody can do what I'm doing forever. Whatever I'm doing, if someone tomorrow did it and somebody the next day and everybody, it would just end up being okay. But if everybody were to go up to this one particular item and pour water on it every single day, I mean, what would end up happening? It would end up ruining the item. It would end up causing all of this blank, 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 blank situations to happen, and it would not be sustainable. So when you're communicating with other people on what's sustainable and what's not sustainable, it becomes very difficult. And that's to me where it's like, well, how are you going to change the world? You know, how are you going to make your life better by getting the people around you to be better? And it's like, you can really only communicate the thought the way that someone would receive new information. So there are 5 ways someone can learn something. They can learn it by doing it themselves. They can learn by seeing someone else do it. They can learn by someone just kind of telling them about it, but not fully explaining it, and then them kind of going, oh, you said that and you said that, so it puts it together. And then they can learn by actually doing it themselves or showing someone how to do it. So I think I said that all of them. But yeah, do, teach, assume, and have somebody tell you how to do it. So not only did they role model it, not only did they talk about it in front of you, but they told you directly how to do it. And the problem that I've seen in life, and this is the biggest reason I want to bring it up as the last thing, is because if you tell someone to do something, they will think about it in a certain way because you told it to them. So if Arnold Schwarzenegger came up to you and said that you should eat more protein, why would you think he's saying that to you? You know? If your dad walks up to you and says something, why do you think that it's coming? Know your audience, right? So think about when they're communicating some information to you, are they communicating it to you for a specific reason that's going to benefit it to you. Next, with that same idea, if you're communicating it to someone else, think about how they have been interpreting you over the last period of time. Like, I'm going to make a video about it specifically called 15-2, where the last 15 minutes that you spent with someone and the last 2 events that they're thinking of are how they think of you. So if you're telling them a story, or if you're trying to tell them information, or, oh, you should, or you should, I found this information, or this information, they're going to base it on how they think of you. So, if you want someone to think of you as an expert in a particular subject that you're trying to convince them of, you want to make sure that you bring up those events that you were an expert and that you were successful, and then you also want to continue to be an expert on that particular, like, by talking a certain way, or just in general. How your mannerisms are, maybe what you're wearing, maybe what you're talking about, maybe where you just came from, this and that. So all of that's going to be playing in what they're thinking about of you, and they can only hold so much of that information of you at one particular time. So your point is to think about how you can get those other people to understand what you want them to understand, so that they can receive it. And everybody stays in a certain state of consciousness. So while you're talking to them, they may float in and out of those states of consciousness. So if you're wanting them to stay in that full consciousness, and you don't want them to go into the state of confusion, you want to maybe speak the right tone, maybe you want to speak the right speed, and kind of speak a little bit more about something that's maybe a bit more entertaining, maybe be a little bit more relatable to them, and basically keep the conversation moving, as opposed to, oh, I need to tell you this, I need to tell you this, I need to tell you this, I need to tell you this. And I'm speaking directly to myself with that one, because I have I have so much information that I want to say at any particular time, and my brain and my mouth can only speak so fast. And then I talk so fast that my mouth ends up just getting dry, or ends up this and that. Or I end up having like some kind of hiccup or some kind of burp, or now I have all these, other problems with sinuses, but it's always been that way. So to communicate to a certain person, I have to, focus on what it is that I'm going to focus on, and then slow down, and then also try to only mention the things that are going to benefit them. So when I've lightened up everything that I'm going to say, I've allowed them to understand the key points, because there have been points where I have so much information that I want to say, like all these videos. I've literally gone off on somebody with all 30 videos, and I've just watched them float in and out of full consciousness and a full state of confusion, because there will be something that I will say to them that they will start thinking about. And that will cause them to be kind of confused about the next part, because they're not actually fully there for it. And then it just kind of confuses them a little bit more. And then I say something else that's relatable to the other part. And then they're like, oh, okay, that's how we got here. That's why we're here. That's why this and that. And then a lot of times I try to stay on one thought and finish it. But then I end up floating, and I am like never finishing like 10 thoughts. So keeping it to the point, or saying the point maybe a little bit early before someone can cut you off. Also, them cutting you off is always a very strong possibility, because if they think of you as a weaker person, they're going to just go ahead and say it right over you. Or if they think of you as a higher, more knowledgeable person, they want to help you direct the conversation that you're going to say next to what's most beneficial to them, because they think of it like a power session. And the problem is, in that situation, is the higher person's going to be like, why do they keep cutting me off? But if you really think about it, like, they're doing everything in their best intentions. So if you can start thinking of yourself as a separate person from the other person, as that person's so much higher than you, no matter who it is, and then you can also just kind of understand why somebody would do something in what situation and what audience that you're looking at, then you can possibly get people to cooperate with you in the ways that you need to. And it takes give and take, and give and take, and it takes rewards for people to want to do things for you, and that's just natural. Like, don't think that people are being selfish if they're like taking things from you because of the interactions that you're constantly going through. And I say that to myself because it can seem draining, and it can seem like they're just vampires around you all the time that are just like, oh, I'm just looking for this, I'm just looking for that. No, it's just, that's what friends and family are. So they want to incorporate you into a normal situation sometimes just because it's an opportunity to spend time with you. And it may not just be because you can help them, but yet again, you helping them would actually genuinely help them out because blank, 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 blank. So anyways, if you like these videos, if you think that they're helpful, I will have plenty more. Like I said in this one, I've explained like at least 10 different things and a reason to watch at least 2 of my other videos, which would be the 4 stages of thought. That one's going to be the next video. And then the other video, which would be 15.2, which would be how to basically control a situation and get the RAM, like the random access memory, like the actual part that you can actually access quickly in a favorable manner. And then eventually I'm going to put all these videos into more deeper format with graphics and visuals and much more ideas. So like, subscribe, comment down below what you hate about the video. That way I can keep moving. I'm sorry for always clearing my throat. I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video, which is right here, probably right here. You can see it, you can watch it, and thank you. I'll see you later. Bye.